You know that feeling when your kid figures out something before you do? Not a big thing, just a password, a shortcut, a better way to fold a map. And for half a second, you feel this weird pang. Pride and vertigo mixed together. Like the ground shifted an inch. Now, imagine that feeling. But it's not a password, it's everything. Your language, your expertise, your entire sense of what makes you useful to the people you love. What happens when the world stops needing the thing you were best at? It's 2063, in a public library in Lyon that never closes. Because in this world, 3 engines made closing unnecessary. AI that thinks, robots that build, and clean fusion energy that powers it all, around the clock, for free. A translator named Nadège Fournier is about to watch the last thing she thought was hers slip quietly out of her hands. Nadège speaks 7 languages. Not the tourist kind. The kind where you dream in them, argue in them, feel the weight of a word that has no equivalent anywhere else. For 20 years, that was her gift. Translating not just words, but meaning. The texture between languages that machines always flattened. Then the AI got good. Not dictionary good, poet good. It started catching the jokes, the double meanings, the cultural undertones she used to be the only bridge for. Nobody pays for translation anymore. Nobody pays for anything, actually, since producing things costs nearly nothing and the old work-earn-spend cycle broke years ago. But nobody needs her for it either. Now here's the thing about 2063. Nadège doesn't need to work. Nobody does. Everyone's basics, housing, food, healthcare, education, are covered like tap water. After a few years of civic service in her 20s, learning how the infrastructure actually runs, she technically retired at 24. She chose to keep translating. That's what makes this sting. Her 2 kids, 15 and 13, are growing up in a world where 90% of life is just handled. The foundation provides. The remaining 10%? That's the ascent, where people push themselves because they want to, earning reputation through contribution that fades over time so no one can coast forever. Her kids are thriving in it, and they have never once needed their mother to translate a single word. There's an old compass Nadège keeps on her desk. It belonged to her grandmother, who carried it from Port-au-Prince to Paris. The needle has always pointed the wrong way, south instead of north. Her grandmother called it the honest compass. It doesn't show you where the world says to go. It shows you where you've been. One night in the library, Nadège sits with a question she can't translate into any of her 7 languages. If her children don't need her skill, don't need her income, because there is no income, don't need her protection from a world that now protects everyone automatically, what exactly does she give them? What makes her life feel earned? That same night, a building across the street collapses. Old pre-transition construction finally giving way. The robots are there in minutes, and nobody is hurt. The sensors evacuated everyone before the first crack widened. Nadège watches from the library window as machines handle everything, perfectly, without her, without anyone really. And then, almost by accident, she finds it. A young man in the library is struggling with a Wolof poem. The AI translated it perfectly, every word correct. And he's furious, because the translation killed it. Stripped out the rhythm, the breath, the place where the poet paused because the silence was the meaning. Nadège sits down. She doesn't translate the poem. She teaches him to hear it. The compass was right all along. It never pointed where the world said to go. A life doesn't feel earned because you were needed. Needed is what machines are for. A life feels earned because you chose to show up anyway. Not because your children couldn't survive without you, but because you had something no algorithm carries. The memory of what it cost to learn, and the patience to sit with someone while they learn it too. Maybe that's the answer to what makes a life feel earned. Not the doing, the giving. Freely, without obligation, to someone who could get it elsewhere, but came to you. That's a world worth building. That's Unscarcity. If Nadège's world sounds impossible, the math says otherwise. The AI at Unscarcity.ai has read the whole book. Ask it anything. Or start with the research, 112 articles deep. The compass doesn't point north. But maybe north was never the point.